Welcome back to the Old History Project YouTube channel. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please see the description below for links to my Facebook page and podcast. So while I'm walking out of here, this is future Old History talking to you. I'd like to give a shout out to Michael W. Cook, owner of Sauce Squatch. You know, Mr. Cook is a good friend of mine. He makes some real good barbecue sauce. And you can find him on saucesquatch.com or on Facebook. And the second shout out I'd like to give is to the East Tennessee Historical Society. You know, those folks down there are really awesome to work with. I collaborate with them on a few things that don't make it into the website. So you can become a member of the East Tennessee Historical Society. If you want more information about that, visit their website. So give them a shout out and Sasquatch. Give them a look-see. All right, welcome back to the Old History Project, historians. So right behind me is a house that I've been trying to get into for such a long time. I've seen it only in the fall time when things start to die down, and I passed it, and I've always just wondered about it. And when I finally figured out where the owner of the house lives, not too far away, he watches it and keeps people out of it. His family has owned it since the turn of the 1900s, but let's pan the camera around here. The house is known as Solitude. It was given the name Solitude by the city wife of Jacob Bewley, who was the political advisor for Andrew Jackson, former President Jackson. The house was built between 1820 and 1830 by a fellow by the name of James Carmichael. And I'll insert it here in a minute on how I'm related to him. So, assuming nobody was adopted, this is the line that I know to be true until I find evidence that suggests otherwise. I'll start this story around Joseph Cornelius Carmichael, who was born in Carmichael, Scotland, and moved to Pennsylvania, where he had Daniel, James, and John Carmichael. Now, Daniel Carmichael was born in Pennsylvania in 1736, and he moved to the Watauga area, where he had James L. Carmichael. Now, I can't find out if it was this James or his son James that built Solitude, but it was definitely one of those two people. James Carmichael had a son named Daniel Carmichael who moved to Hawkins County, where his son married Rodham Kenner. And you guys remember that video. And that's my line. The other brother, John, had a son named James, but he died in Missouri. So you can see how this got very confusing trying to figure all that out. Back to your scheduled program. But James Carmichael built this house specifically for Jacob Bewley. So anyway, built in the federal style. Of course, that's a very unique thing right there, is the two chimneys on one side of the house. And then there's another chimney on the other side of the house. I've already walked around it once, just making sure that there wasn't anything here. Normally I like to try and do this kind of thing in one take, but some places just have to be careful. You know, all this high grass, and there's ivy over there. You just got to be careful. And so before we continue here, I want to make it known, just everybody, if you come out to places like this, you know, take protection. You know, arm yourself with a stick or a weapon of some kind, because you don't know what's going to be in there, you know, who's going to be in there, or, you know, anything like that. And help in somewhere like this could be quite a ways away. Now right here we're by the road, clearly, but we're in a pretty rural part of the county. All right, so just to backtrack here, house is called Solitude. It was given the name by the city wife of Jacob Bewley, because she was lonely here. She didn't have any neighbors. Back then, this was the only road that went out to Newport and Cotton County out that way. So now I wasn't given permission to go in the house, not that I want to anyway, just seeing what I've already seen. It's just in no shape to be holding any kind of person weight up there, especially not big old me. So this part of the house, the owner said was a little bit more new. And of course, I don't think I can get in there and walk around that. Would have been the kitchen. Says he has some really fond memories of the house. And according to his grandfather, who bought it from the Bewley family, these bricks are sun-dried. And they were fired somewhere right over there, under a tree stump, he said. Now what's cool about this house is this is a true brick home. The walls are double brick mason walls. So yeah, super cool. I'm just overexcited. Even here, I've already walked around it once, and I'm still excited. Just happy as a lark. Of course, you have a back porch, and this is all modern. He said that this was added, I think he's sometime between, I don't want to misquote him, but he said it was added sometime between the 20s, 30s, maybe we'll just say between the early 1900s and the 1930s. Not to misquote him, but I was just happy that he told me, yeah, you can go out there. There really isn't much to say about the house itself, because I've tried to do all sorts of research on it, and there just isn't any research here. You know, it's not on the National Register. It wasn't recorded in the Historic American Building Survey, and there's just nothing on it. You know, there is a rumor, a long-standing rumor among my friends who metal detect and study Civil War stuff a little bit more intently than I do, that there was a battle fought on the Nolichucky River, and somebody, they don't know which side, but somebody shot a cannon, and it went in, lodged itself in the fireplace. Now, I don't know if there's any truth to that, and quite frankly, I'm not going to go up there and find out for that reason. I think that's a pretty good reason not to go crawling around in a house. Man, this is just, wow. So look at those wooden beams right there. You see them right there? So another interesting thing that I'm picking up on is those metal rods there. There would have been at least 3 or 4 of them in the house. Those are keeping the house, well, not anymore. They're kind of laying down on the job. They're supposed to keep the house together from falling apart, you know, movements in the ground and all that. The owner said that the last time this was lived in was, I think he said, the 80s. And even then, the house was falling apart then. It hadn't been cared for. So it's unfortunate. But it's just a thing that happens. You gotta accept it. And now, if somebody had deep enough pockets, you know, this could be fixed. But it would take, you know, easy $750,000 or more to rebuild the house. It would about have to be taken down brick by individual brick, numbered, and then put back up, and then just kind of reconstruct this side here. So, and just to point out too, look at that side of the brick, the older side, and look at this side of the brick. There's a very obvious color difference, because those brick, like I said, were sun-dried, and these look more processed and more refined. So let's go over there and get a closer look at that side of the wall. So also, if you guys, here's one of the metal rods for the house. Looks like a big old snake sitting there. So that's cool. There's some shutters on the inside of the house. I wonder if that might have been the bathroom. Right there are some more of those little rods. There are 3 of them on this side holding the house together. I've only seen that in another house, and the only other house I've seen that in was a rural mount. A rural mount is like 3 times the size of this one. Up there must have been where that cannonball went through the house. No, I'm kidding. Looks like the chimney might have collapsed or something along those lines. I'm so happy that I'm here. This side of the house is about to come off. See the brick starting to kind of fall that way. You can see in there, I don't know if you can tell on the camera or not, but the floor is kind of sloped. It's kind of leaning down. Porch is all gone. And there is only one picture, one historic picture I have of this place. And it shows it from an angle, so kind of similar to that, this angle, but it's taken from the road. Let's get over here in front of this porch and see just what it looks like from this side. I said that right there was a little goldfish pond. Oh yeah, you see that there, the wood's rotting on that side, kind of sloping off. There's a really neat wooden door. There are those metal rods holding the house together again on this side. Oh yeah, this would take a lot, a very pretty penny to fix this up. It's unfortunate. See a house with that much history, or at least just the legacy that it has, you know, as we've seen in this shape. Right there is some of the floor beams. Look like they're hand hewn. I'm sorry if the camera keeps rocking back and forth. My stick here is broke. I'm going to have to buy me another one. So the last picture on Google Earth, or the earliest one, is from 2008, and it actually shows when the porch is still standing. So, all right, well, we're at 10 minutes here, and I think we've seen everything we're about to see, and about going in the house and doing some real Indiana Jones in here, which I'm not going to do. Too dangerous, even for Indiana Jones. I think even Dr. Jones would be like, no, I have to call this one quits. So that's another cool thing too. I don't know if you can see it from this angle, but just the crown on those chimneys. Wow. Well, I'm going to take some pictures here and post them up on the oldhistory.com website. Please visit it, oldhistory.com. I post all of my personal photography on the website. Every picture that I take will get uploaded there some way, form, or fashion. So, thank everybody for watching, and if you'd like to donate, please visit me on Patreon, patreon.com/oldhistory. Support your favorite internet historian. Hey, thanks for watching.